And so today we're making a difference. I'm teaming up with Ken Nedimyer from the Coral Restoration Foundation. Along with Kim Hall, the Associate Curator of Fish and Invertebrates at Georgia Aquarium, we're on our way to cultivate a very special garden. But what kind of garden is located 30 feet on the ocean floor, several miles off the coast? Why, a coral nursery, of course.
So guys, I thought we'd just sit here for 10 or 15 minutes, enjoy the very frigid, blustery winds off of the Florida coast here in the Florida Keys. Actually, it is piping hot, but you're about to see something really awesome. Both these guys are working on a very important and exciting project, and its mission is basically to save and restore the endangered reefs off of Florida. Should I shut up and should we go?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I was told that this coral garden would be absolutely amazing, but this magical place is like nothing I've ever seen. Specialized conservation divers tend to rows of coral crops, just like farmers do on dry land, and they carefully clean, prune, meticulously plant new species of coral. Coral that will one day help rebuild reefs and save an entire ecosystem. Already the promise of new ocean life is taking hold around this garden, and swimming amongst the corals, it gives me hope that maybe someday, through tireless efforts and education, balance will return to the ocean and the coral reefs will be saved.
Now, staghorn coral is a very important species of coral here along the Florida Keys and other parts of the world. For an ecosystem like this, coral is the foundation of life. Everything from pollution to climate change has caused these corals to be in trouble. But these guys have come up with an ingenious solution. As if we were pruning branches from a tree, we do the same with these corals. Now, what are we going to be doing with these little snippets of stag coral? We're going to twist the wire around each of these and hang them on one of our tree nurseries. And they'll stay there for 6 months before we take them to the reef. You can see that they're using this tree-like structure right here, which has been anchored to the ocean floor. And this will serve as the foundation for these new little plantings of coral.
They grow very nicely when they're hanging down because the water flow can go around them and all the light gets to them all around as well.
I'm going to grab some coral and I'm going to grab a piece of wire. You just the coral in your hand, one hand, and you want to wrap the wire loosely around it to start with. That looks real good. Now you just find a hole, stick it through the hole, take it out a little bit, and then a couple of loose wraps is all you need. Each tree will hold 160 corals. A very important project. It seems deceptively simple, but the truth is, without coral reefs, this is a dead zone. Our last task. We're going to bring all these corals to the surface now.
These precious and incredibly vital little branches of coral are now ready for their new home a few miles away on Molasses Reef, where hopefully they'll take hold, grow, and multiply. Welcome back to the beautiful waters near Key Largo, Florida. I'm here to work on coral preservation with the Coral Restoration Foundation and Georgia Aquarium.
All right, guys, here's the plan. Now that we've harvested our 1-year-old branches of staghorn coral, which were growing about a mile away at the nursery, we're ready to replant them. And it's going to happen here. This is Molasses Reef. It's a protected sanctuary. And what it's missing is coral.
Molasses Reef is a part of an underwater wildlife sanctuary here along the coast of Florida. And this is one of the only places in North America where you can find wild coral reefs. It would be easy to get lost here, but Ken Nedimyer of Coral Restoration Foundation and Kim Hall of Georgia Aquarium know this place like the back of their hands.
This is another area we planted about 3 years ago. All this stuff here. And you can see how they've become a magnet. They've become a mecca for life, clustered around this field, this precious stretch of coral. This is an area that we planted 3 years ago, and it's doing pretty good. But if you look right up here, it all died in the last 2 weeks. I guess the good side of this is that we have some friends of ours that are researchers. They're out here studying this while it's happening, trying to figure out what's causing it. See these little shells right here? Their most favorite meal? Stag-on coral. But they got a predator that keeps them in check. That's the spiny lobster. Unfortunately, spiny lobsters have a predator. That's us. So when we eat some of these spiny lobsters, when we overharvest them, the population of these snails gets out of hand, and it's the coral that pays the price.
Ken has led us to a perfect place for new coral to grow. So now it's time for some transplanting. By transplanting and grafting new coral, the team hopes to offset the loss of local corals that are dying away from bleaching, disease, and other environmental stresses.
See what Ken is doing? He has this little, I'm a gold miner hammer, and basically he's hammering and scraping and knocking away and removing a layer of algae and other materials, trying to get down to the bony, stony structure of the reef underneath. He's got a mixture of an epoxy that allows the coral to be cemented to the reef. And it's ready to go. Now it's good for about 45 minutes before it starts to harden. Sounds good.
With only 45 minutes, we've got to work fast. What we're doing is called outplanting new corals on the reef, where we take a new fragment of coral, graft it to the substrate where hopefully it will thrive and grow. You see, in strong, healthy reef environments, pieces of coral will normally break off during storms and float on until they fuse naturally to a new location. So here, we're just giving a helping hand to make sure these nursery-grown coral fragments stick around for a while. It's important that we all spread these new corals around. This gives each transplant the chance to grow on its own. Well, we got all the coral fused and transplanted on time. So now we can do some sightseeing.
That's awesome. Look at the size of this fish. It's got this, I want to guess, 6-foot-long grouper. Probably weighs in 70, 80 pounds. And he's just one example of the millions of creatures, the thousands of marine species that benefit from having a healthy reef ecosystem. That's why this conservation project of seeding new little branches of staghorn coral is so important. Big guys like this that benefit